Your broker is lying to you. Flat out. They are lying to you, and guess what? All your colleagues are lying to you as well. Because the biggest mistake realtors make when they're new to the business, and even when they have experience or they're stuck, they chase listings. They feel like that is the only path they can take. I need listings. I need listings. Listings are the only path to income. What am I going to do? I can't get anybody to let me list their home. Well, here's the thing. Your entire plan is, I need listings. Well, I have news for you. Listings are not king. No. Do you want to know what's king? The buyers. That's it. I've built my career on buyers, and we're going to talk about that in this episode. Buyers create need, they create closings. Closings drive momentum. Momentum will eventually create listings for you, because you do need to have a balance. I'm not going to say no listings, but you have to have a balance. In this show, I'm going to demonstrate why buyers are the real business and why sellers are not always what they're cracked up to be. And I'm going to share with you the exact 5 strategies I've used and would use again had I start over from nothing. Because yes, I did start with nothing. 7 years ago, I started selling real estate in Florida. I had nothing, and I built it up to a $500,000 business with buyers. In this episode as well, you are going to get a copy of my 7-day buyer pipeline protocol. It's available in a download. And if you're listening to this as a podcast, it is available on my YouTube channel. You can get a link there. But the strategy is to schedule and not guess every day what you have to do. So welcome to Stop Chasing, Start Attracting. I'm Robyn Cavallaro. I am a realtor in Florida. I started my business with no sphere of influence, no real estate experience, and in a very unusual market that's an over 55 community. But I built a brand, I became an authority, and I reinvented my life. And I'm going to teach you and talk about these strategies and how to do this for yourself from my experience. So if this is interesting to you, if you wouldn't mind, just hit that like and subscribe button. If you are listening to this as a podcast, if you wouldn't mind following the show and writing a review, because you know these algorithms think I'm sitting here in my pajamas talking to myself. And well, I'm not quite in my pajamas, but I am talking to myself because I'm talking to the camera. All right, so let's get into it. So for quick context, again, I just want to reiterate, I started from zero. I literally had nothing. And I built up this business. Real estate is not a hard job, but you must work hard daily at it. Just keep that in mind. If you're new to this business, it's not going to be, let me just start counting my money hand over fist. That's not the way it is. It does take time. But I promise you, if you persevere and you stick with it and you work hard and use my strategies, you will become a very successful real estate agent. And believe me, you see this sweatshirt? I go out and sell homes in this stuff. And it doesn't really matter what I have on because I know my market. I am an authority. I am an expert. And people come to me. I don't chase. They come to me because I put out valuable content and I have demonstrated that I am an expert, which is why they come to me. And again, I'm going to show you how to do that. So you have to stay tuned. So I'm sure if you're new, you're frustrated. And even if you're experienced, a lot of us get stuck in a rut or you just get stuck. And you have just been so conditioned to think, I need listings. But listings, you need trust to have listings. And I'm not saying that buyers don't want to trust you, but it's easier to earn a buyer's trust, I feel, than it is the seller. The seller, it takes time. And no one is going to tell you that about listings. In fact, I had a friend that was selling real estate, and we were having this conversation, and she's like, I need listings. And I said, you need buyers, because the buyers are the one with the cash. The buyers are the ones that are ready. The buyers are the ones that need a property. You are creating the demand. You are not sitting there waiting for someone to bring you the buyer. The buyer has the money. So we're going to talk about how to get those buyers and how to develop a plan for you to follow that will help you in your endeavor of getting more buyers. Before we get into the meat of how to do these things, I want to show you my numbers. Now, I'm going to show this graphic over here and go over it. If you are listening, I was displaying a graphic, but if you're listening on the podcast, I'm going to go over all the numbers so you don't fret. You will discover. I started, my first year was 2020. And in 2020, you'll see here, I had one sale. I got my license in July. I got my license July of 2020. I had one sale. In 2021, now I had started a YouTube channel. So I was out posting information consistently. In 2021, I had 20 buyers and 6 listings. There are probably about 1,000 realtors that sell homes in my market, which is the Villages, Florida. And then the developer has an arsenal of their own employees that sell homes. So there is a lot of competition here. So I did find a way to stand out in the crowd, and the numbers will show. And again, I'm going to show you these tips, tricks, and hints in this podcast. All right, so 2022, I had 20 and a half buyers. And I had 5.5 listings. And you know, you get those halves if you happen to list or you have a co-buying agent. In that year, 2022, I had a total dollar volume, you see here, of $8,600,000. In 23, I had 34 buyers, but only 2 listings. A total volume of $14 million. Now, in that year, I do believe in the MLS, in the zip codes that I sell in, I was number 20, which I thought, oh, wow, that's pretty good. In 2024, I had 52 buyers and 13 listings with a total dollar volume of $26,977,000. I'm one person. I don't think I had anyone co-listing or anything in 24 with me. But now, in 2025, I had 61 buyers and 30 listings, 30 and a half listings. So you see how over the years, the listings came. The buyers were there, the listings followed. You have to have that base to start to you have to have that base to start to get some traction, to get people to call you. Why should I go to you? In 2025, my total dollar volume was $31,284,000. Not bad for being in the business a couple of years. I've had a good start so far. It's a little slow, but I have a lot of buyers that are up in the air. So I got a lot of balls, and I have a lot of listings too. All right, so you don't have to panic. One thing I've never done are call expired listings. That's a real pain in the neck. I never buy leads. I think the leads that you purchase are garbage, and it's not for me. I also don't advertise because I have a successful YouTube channel that I've built, and I work hard at it. So I get all of my leads from YouTube, and I do other things to attract leads, and we'll talk about that in other episodes. I want to get off track here. But the thing you have to do to attract buyers are educate them, provide them information that shows you are the expert. The things that I've done that have set me apart from others, I've found the topics that resonated with people, buyers who are looking to move into this community. And I targeted that. And what do they want to know? And actually, it really pertains to your market as well. They want to know about taxes. They want to know about schools. They want to know about restaurants. They want to know medical facilities, hospitals. What's the culture of the community like? Am I going to fit in? Are there things for my children to do? Those, I just named probably 50 videos that you could, or topics that you could cover on social media and put out to your sphere or just out into the universe to start attracting buyers. Okay, so here's the story. I had a buyer come into town and they purchased a home. 9 months later, they decided they wanted a larger home. So we put that house on the market and I happened to have a buyer for it. Then they purchased a home and they gave me 2 referrals. So on the one original purchase, I had 1, 2, 3, 4 more sales that were basically all buyer driven. So think about that. As you're moving along, there are real life examples of how you can make money and how you can be successful. You could just be a successful buyer's agent. You don't even have to take listings. I know there are some just listing agents, but I still think you need a healthy mix if you want to be really successful. All right, so the 5 strategies that you need to have in your toolbox to become successful. Number 1, we're going to call it the borrowed listing. That means you have one of your fellow realtors, colleagues in your office, or if you're with a large brokerage, could be in another office, what doesn't matter, own that listing. Tell them you'll sit the open house, you'll promote it, print up flyers, go into the neighborhood, knock on the doors, tell the neighbors you're having an open house. Let them know. They may know of someone that wants to buy that property. So borrowed listing from one of the agents in your brokerage, number 1. Number 2, the lender zombie list. What does that mean? It's not the zombie apocalypse, but find a lender and you can meet them at any networking event in town. And if somebody in your brokerage may even have someone that they would recommend that you could use. Ask them for basically like their expired lists. They have people in their arsenal that have started the application process and maybe stopped, couldn't qualify at that time, weren't really ready, but they might be ready now. Ask them if they maybe have 10 or 20 leads that you could follow up on. That's an awesome way to resuscitate a listing, better than calling expireds. Number 3, the video preview. If you're having an open house, do a short video preview of that home. Video different things in your community that are important to the people there that might be attractive for someone who wants to buy the home. It could be the local park. It could be a concert, maybe a new shopping center. Video the new housing developments. Video maybe some construction that's going on that might improve the community. Just really think about those things. And again, within this podcast, I am going to demonstrate these laser focused niche builders for you. So make sure you stay tuned. All right, number 4 is the luxury renter. So what does that mean? Well, any more rent isn't cheap. And most renters don't know that they might still be able to qualify for a home, so they don't have to continue to pay rent. They can pay themselves in a mortgage. And so how do you do that? Well, if you target that market, talk with them about, or you make content or send out a flyer, do a new email newsletter or a mailing with interest rates, first-time home buyer assistance, down payment assistance. So there are different programs that might be able to help different people if they're coming up short. So think about that rental market to become a permanent owner. And number 5, agent to agent referrals. So what does that mean? Well, that same person in your office that might have a lot of listings that need you to sit open house, they might be tied up. They might be on vacation and they have a buyer in town. Approach them and say, hey, I'll take out your buyer. I'll handle this customer for you for a referral fee. Would you agree to that? And they may be willing to coach you along the way because now you're making money for them without them having to do it. And that's not necessarily being part of a team. That's just helping someone out. So If you have to be on a team to do that, you have to be on a team, but you might be able to just approach another realtor and help them out and help yourself out. And don't forget, there are always your family and friends as your sphere of influence, but dig deep for your friends. Reach into your Facebook page, reach into your TikTok, into your Instagram. If you live in a community where there are a lot of professionals, you want to hammer LinkedIn, any of the social media channels. I personally don't get into print, but print works for some people. So you just have to find what works best for you. So now that we've reviewed these 5 strategies, I've also given you some ideas on how to execute those strategies. My 7-day buyer pipeline protocol reinforces that, and it gives you the plan on how to do it and how to execute it. So make sure you download that, print it out, keep it with you, and stay tuned for the next episode. Thank you very much for watching this episode and listening on this podcast to Your Brokers Lying to You. Listings are not king, buyers are beautiful. So with that said, thanks again for watching. I'm Robyn Cavallaro. Stop chasing, start attracting. I will see you next time.